Hi there, how's everyone doing this Sunday? My name's Marianne from New Journeys Counselling. I'm the owner and the therapist. You've probably seen a few of my videos previously, so I'm going to leave all my description, contact information in the box below, but I just want to make this quick video to talk about something which I'm really passionate about. Although I specialise in working with couples and working with individuals where there are relationship problems, I also do get a lot of people come to me where they're struggling with debt. And that's what this video is about, really. I haven't given it a title yet. I'll put one in the box, I'll think of one. But I'm here to talk about debt because this affects lots of people, and I'm actually in the process of setting up a debt support group on Facebook, which I'll let you know about. Obviously, once it's set up, I'll invite people to come along. It's going to be just full of information, videos, articles, and anything related to debt. This is something that affects people on so many levels, and I know family, friends, and people who come to me for counselling, which it's not directly to do with just the debt, but it's what the debt then impacts on them. It can cause depression. There are links with debt and low self-esteem, isolation, and just poor health because you can't afford to buy the things you need, even health-wise. So I just want to give people 5 tips really in terms of getting on top of your finances. I'm not a financial expert, so I'm not pretending to be, but these are some of the things that I've done myself, but also through my reading and knowledge on the subject. That's what I'm sharing. So tip number 1 is to create several, not one, but several saving systems. And the ones that I have, so I'll talk to you about the ones I have at the moment. So I've got a money jar. So in my money jar, that is purely for change. So mostly I'll put in sort of 5, 20p coins, I don't know, 2s, pennies. But these days I'm just throwing in all my change. After I come back from shopping, I'll literally just throw it in that jar. Now that jar is not to be touched until probably the end of the year. I'll take everything out, calculate it, and decide where I'm going to put it, and then start again. So penny jars is a good way, or money jars, of just saving without thinking, because you're just throwing all your change in there. Now the key thing is though, not to dip into it. I know lots of people who have these jars and they say, oh, I got up to £20, £30, £40, but then I used it. It's not, the purpose of it isn't to use it, because then it's not savings, then it's just money you're using. So what I would say is try and set yourself a challenge of how much you want to save and see how far you can get with it. So that's number 1, is the money jars. Number 2, and this is talked about quite a lot, there are lots of people on YouTube that have brilliant videos on financial information. I listen to something from, you've got the likes of Grant Cardone, you've got Tai Lopez. I know people don't really like him much. There are millions of people on YouTube talking about finance. That's how I've learnt a lot about wealth management, money mindset, all this sort of stuff. The key thing is don't rely on one income. Having a job for the rest of your life, even if it's paying a lot of money, is not going to make you wealthy, because it's still based on salary. So what you have to think about is the only way you're going to become wealthy and the only way you're going to increase your income is by having lots of streams of income. So currently I'm working on books, so hopefully once I've got those books finished and I can publish 3 or 4 books. I've got a counselling business, which is my business. I've got a job as well, so I've got a salary from free. I've got products I'm working on. I've always been like that. I've always got lots of different things I'm working on, and even if I sell, say 20, 30, 40 of those other products, that is giving me an income on top of my salary. Then when I get my clients' income from the business, then that's another income. Anyone that just sort of survives on just one salary, or even a joint salary, you're not going to become wealthy, because that employer is only going to pay you a set amount every month. When I get my salary each month, it's already accounted for, so without the extra money I have coming in, I can then have more freedom to use that in the way that I want. So that's the second thing, create multiple forms of income. Number 3, get advice from wealthy people, not broke people. This is a key thing, because there are so many people that want to give you advice on what to do about money, but they're broke. Now, I'm not being funny about this, but you can't really, how are you going to learn from someone who hasn't learned themselves yet? It's like if you want success tips, you're not going to go to someone who isn't successful. Watch what the wealthy people do. You know, watch a video by Richard Branson, or even if you can get to meet and sit down with a rich person, you might have to go like to a top hotel. You may have to pay a lot of money to do it, meaning that, you know, they're not going to pay your meal. So if you have to spend a lot more money to be around like rich people just to hear what they what advice they have, then do it, because you're going to get key advice that you can use. But there's no point getting advice from broke people. I'm not trying to say I'm an expert in this, in anything financial. I read a lot on this subject. I'll take action myself, but I wouldn't say that I'm broke, but I'm also not saying I'm rich. I'm just saying that the advice that I get is usually from people who are already making it. They're the people I'm listening to. That's the knowledge I want. Number 4 is to do a weekly, monthly or a yearly budget plan. It might sound boring. I think years ago I used to see these people with spreadsheets for the whole year. They would actually calculate everything, and I thought that's pretty sad. I would just spend. But recently I've been keeping receipts for everything I purchase. I've been going online, and then I'll put everything in the basket, and then I'll wait 20 minutes, go and do something else. And I've noticed when I come back now, I won't buy any of the things that are in the basket. I'll look through it, and I will normally say, oh, I don't need that, or that can wait, or I'll say something. But it's a really good technique to use, actually, because you can get into this habit of just, I've got money in the bank, I've got money in my current account, I've got money on my debit card or whatever, so I'm just going to spend. Oh, I need this. Before you know it, you spent loads. So keeping receipts means every week I check my receipts to say what I've bought. I have a strict budget now for like food, for petrol, for everything. I don't like cheap food, and I know that. I like branded food, and I like going to like expensive places. So because I know that, I will set my budget at a reasonable rate, but then it will come out of something else. So if I want to buy makeup, or if I want to buy an outfit, like this jacket is new, but I worked out how I can get money to get this jacket or to buy makeup. I don't just spend what I want, because you could literally, if that's like your philosophy that just you've got money, oh, I'm working hard, so let me go and blow it all, then you could buy, anyone could do that, you know what I mean? There's always things to buy. So it's about thinking, what do I need now? What can wait till later? Have a budget. I love having a budget because I know exactly what's coming out, when it's coming out. I've got my online banking, I've got all my systems in place so it works. So the final tip is, let's see, cut up your credit cards, mum. I used to have loads of credit cards, not loads, I had 3 credit cards. I mean, none of them were above the £1,000, so it wasn't like they were like high. I've been watching the Dave Ramsey show, and I also when I hear people with like £100,000 worth of debt, or they've got 10,000 on their credit cards, my eyes start watering, because my top level of credit cards were £1,000. I've always kept them low. They always want to increase. They're always saying to me, do you want to increase? Do you want to increase? They used to be, because I was paying them off so fast. And then I thought one day, well, do you know what? If I'm paying off my credit card balance every month, why do I actually need a credit card? I don't need one. Buy everything cash, or save and wait until you can. Everyone keeps using this phrase, I need a credit card because of emergencies. Well, if you've got an emergency fund, you don't need a credit card. So someone I was listening to, I didn't make this up, they were talking about this, and they were saying, if you build up enough money and you save up enough money in your emergency fund, it means if there's an emergency, you can then access that money. So what's the point of a credit card? Why do really people have credit cards? So that they can spend more than what they're earning, or so they can say, oh, I'll use the credit card. And there's been research to say that when you hand out cash for something, the psychological effect of handing over cash, if you was to hand over £1,000 in cash, you're going to be like, whoa, I've lost a lot of money there, that's a lot. If you pay something on your credit card for £1,000, you don't care. There are people who are blowing lots of like things that they would not normally buy if they had to find that money. They're using the credit cards because it's like there's no attachment to a card, a piece of plastic, but with money you feel it. So save up, use the money, cut up your cards today, and just say I'm going to buy everything cash from now on. So they're my 5 tips. As I've said, I'm not saying I'm a brilliant expert in this. I'm learning myself every day. I'm putting techniques into practice, and I hope you found this video useful. If you want to make a counselling inquiry, then you can go to my Facebook page, NU Journeys Counselling. You can also find me on YouTube. You can leave me a message there, but really my videos on YouTube are more for information. You can also email me at nujourneys@yahoo.com, and I hope to see you soon. Have a fantastic day. Bye.